Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another beginner's guide video. So I've been getting a ton of requests to do more of these beginner guides, and one of the most popular requests so far has been to talk about meal prep containers. So let's get into the video. So I just want to preface this video with the fact that I have been doing meal prep for a very long time. For probably 7-8 years I've been doing meal prep. So I have collected a ton of things. So I just want to put that out there right now when you see and I'm just showing you like one piece. I have a ton of meal prep containers. Most of my meal prep containers right now are in the refrigerator. So I will see if I can find, I have an old video where I show how I store it. So I will see if I can find some footage from that video and I'll kind of put it up here on the screen where you can see how I store all my meal prep containers. But if not, I will try to see. Like I said, I would take a snapshot right now, but it's only Tuesday, so almost everything is in the refrigerator right now. Okay, so I'm going to go through the different types and the ones that I recommend or don't recommend, and some things to watch out for, especially when you're ordering them online. Okay, so I'm gonna start with what I started out with when I first started meal prepping, and that was just the basic, I don't know what the brand is, like Ziploc and Glad, Rubbermaid, you know, just those ones that you can buy just anywhere in the grocery store. So that's like these ones, which I like. I used to use these primarily. It's all I used. If you look even some of my old meal prep videos, you'll see that this is what I used a lot. But as I've discovered over the years, the lids on these don't stay on the best. This is, I can't remember what brand. This one doesn't even have brand. So this, I think is, I want to say it's the Glad brand. But the lids don't stay on as well. I like the Ziploc ones better. If you are going to Ziploc, or the Rubbermaid ones better. But anyway, so only thing with these, also things like lettuce and fruit don't stay as fresh in these. So what I primarily use these for now that I've discovered other ones that I like better, I use these for leftovers. So I have gone through a lot of mine and really purged a lot that had been cracked or discolored, or just I'd had them for so long that I just went ahead and purged them. But I did keep I have like 3 of this size ones of this brand, and I have a couple other ones that are a little bit bigger that I use for leftovers. And that way, you know, because those get eaten up pretty quickly, so it's not like they need to stay fresh for a very long time. So these are good to start out with, and they come in all different sizes. Like I said, this is pretty much what I have left. I used to have like the little square ones that were just like, you know, that big. But I have moved on from these and found that actually you can find some that are pretty reasonable priced and just pay a little bit more and they'll last you longer. That's another thing with these, is they start to crack, especially if you put them in the freezer. They get discolored real easily if you're using like pasta sauces, that kind of thing. But these are good beginner. I'm not going to say don't, you know, not use these. These are definitely a good beginner, and like I said, they come in all different sizes, so they're very convenient, they're very affordable. But I would stick to the Ziploc brand or the Rubbermaid brand. I believe, like I said, I think this is the Glad brand, and I'm just wasn't as impressed with this brand. Now, moving on, I do have a few other Ziploc products here. So these ones I still use quite often, because I still have not mastered the art of freezing mason jars. And I've done everything it says to do. Leave a space, you know, I don't know, mine always crack, and I don't know if it's because the mason jars that I'm using have been in the dishwasher, and I know dishwashers can break down the glass. So I like to use these, and actually I have a couple of them in my freezer right now with some broth in them. I like to use them when I make like bone broth or chicken broth, you know, whatever kind of stock, or just like soups and stews, and I'm freezing them. I love to use these, and this is the Ziploc brand. I think you can get like 3 or 4 of these for like $4 or $5. They're really affordable, and this has been one of my favorite containers, and I think this is a 4 cup, so it's the same as a regular quart size mason jar. So I do use these ones still quite often. I think I have 4 or 5 of these, and I do use these a lot. Another thing I love to use these for are hard-boiled eggs. So these fit so many hard-boiled eggs, and because I do so much meal prepping, this takes up less space. So I can just throw them in there, either peeled or unpeeled, and then just stick it in the refrigerator. And so this is tall and skinny, it takes up less room, but these work out. I think these fit easily like 8 hard-boiled eggs really easily. So that's another thing I use these for. So yes, I do recommend these quart size Ziploc tall containers. Another couple things that I recommend, these are, one of them is Glad and one is Ziploc, and that's these little containers. These are great for like dressings or for nuts and seeds, things like that, like protein powder. Sometimes I'll bring protein powder with me to work, and these are great for that. I have since found other ones that I like a little bit better. These don't leak though, which is nice. The lid snaps on nice and tight and they don't leak, but they do crack. I do after a while have had issues with them cracking, and maybe just because I throw them in my purse and, you know, just kind of go. But, and this is a Glad brand. This is the round one. So I used these quite a bit. They're good for hummus. So definitely and you get a lot. I think you get like 8 to 10 in a package. But I'm going to show you something that's even more affordable, and you can pretty much find them at any given time at your Dollar Tree. And that's these little containers. So, I mean, yes, these you can fit a lot more, but if you definitely try to ration your salad dressing, this is definitely, or you know, try to make sure you only have your 2 tablespoons or whatever you're using. This fits that amount perfectly. So unless there's something really in particular that you need to have in this bigger size, these ones work just as good. If you're measuring out your food and you only want a certain amount of seeds or nuts or salad dressing, these are perfect. And I think you get like 10 of these with the lids, and you can get square or round at your Dollar Tree for $1. And I almost see them all the time, and they sometimes have different colors too, but they last for a while. The lids can get lost real easily, but it's, you know, you're only spending $1 for 10 of them, so it's kind of worth it. But yeah, so these ones are good. So just look for your Dollar Tree for those. Another option for a small container are these ones, which I get on Amazon, but I know people have found them like at their Kroger or their Walmart. I know Costco has them, and they're the little disposable ones. So I have picked these up, and you get a pretty big roll for like $4 or $5 on Amazon. But this is another one where this is a great one if you are worried about going somewhere that you just want to be able to throw everything away, because these are disposable. So if your kids like going on a field trip and you want a little condiment and they don't, you know, I remember when my kids went on field trips, they were not allowed to take anything they couldn't just throw away there. So it's good for that. But plus they're small and tiny, and since they're just throwaway, you don't have to worry about keeping track of them. So I use these quite a bit for like, you know, sour cream, salsa, things like that I just want to toss into like a salad, and I just want to be able to throw them away. But I don't use these a lot, as much as I thought that I would. I use the reusable ones more often, but these are a good deal. They're definitely a good deal, and they hold up, and you could reuse them actually, because they are a pretty nice sturdy plastic. I don't know about, you know, I know some plastics you have to be careful with saving because, there it goes, because of the plastic breaks down. Another option for a small container are these glass ones. I get a lot of questions about these. I use these primarily, you can use them for like Jell-Os that are a little bit bigger. I get these at Walmart, the Ball brand. They actually are labeled, I believe, as baby food jars. But they are nice. They have a nice lid on them, but I use them for things that I need a little bit more of a product, but not too much, you know, so it's like really good in between size a jar. But if you have a baby, I guess they're good for baby food, since that's what they market them as. You get 4 of them in a container. I think they're like $6 or $7. I cannot remember what I originally bought these for. I think it was applesauce and also for making Jell-O. So they're a good size for that. Plus the lid is super nice and convenient. So since we're on jars, we'll go ahead and go right into mason jars. So I have quite a few different sizes because, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. Probably the size I use primarily is the 32-ounce mason jar. I use these for everything, but sadly, I'm only down to a few of these. I have 3 of them in my pantry right now that have nuts and seeds in them. But I even use this to drink coffee out of and water out of on the weekends. But these are really good for mason jar salads, which I used to make a lot, which I think I'm going to go back to making again, but I need to pick up more jars. They're good for that. So if you guys want to see some mason jar salads, I will have some of those coming to you this coming weekend. But anyway, these are really great. And if you know how to freeze them, I know that works because people do it, but it just doesn't work for me. But you can get lids for these that are not like the regular like canning type lids, and I'll show you those in just a second. But these are really good and they hold up for a long time. That's the thing with glass, is that they hold up for a long time. I use these for pretty much everything that if I make any beans or anything, these are great for that. They're great for sauces. If I meal prep any sauces, they're great for that. They're definitely an investment. I think it's for like a dozen of them, that's like $15, but they last for a long time unless you'd like me and you stick them in the freezer and they all break. But anyway, I really like them. You can throw them in the dishwasher and they work just fine. Plus, if you can do canning stuff with them. But they are a great meal prep thing, like I said, for salads and sauces and gravies and any of that kind of stuff. So that's the 32-ounce quart jar. This is my next favorite one, and actually I didn't buy these. These were a gift one year for Christmas, and this is the it looks like it's 12 ounces, 12-ounce cup. And these are lids that I got on Amazon. Oh, by the way, I will have everything linked down below that I talk about, because most of it I get on Amazon or I got at Costco. So I'll see if I can find a link for everything. But these are, I really like because they're blue, but I got these lids on Amazon, so they're nice because they just go right on there like that. And these, I got two different sizes of these. I got a smaller one to go on some of the smaller ones, but this size is good for, again, sauces, or I like to put yogurt in these, or I know what I use this the most for is my Skinny Kitchen Ranch. This is perfect size. This holds a full batch plus one of these of Skinny Kitchen Ranch. So that's what I primarily use this for. These little small jars like this, I will show you, I use mostly for parfaits. So I believe this is also a 12-ounce jar. It's just in a squatty version. But that's why I like to use these ones for parfaits, because they are nice and small. As you can see that, you can dig in and has the lid on there. And so anyway, this is what I primarily use these smaller ones for, are these types of things. But you can really just use it for anything you can fit in there. But this is, I like to look at this one like as one you can eat out of, because you don't have to dig your hand down into it. So you can look at it that way. Ones that I like to use for like jams and stuff that I make are these two different sizes. So this is a little itty bitty one, and this is a tall skinny one. This one, it doesn't say anymore. Like, I want to say this is probably a 6-ounce one. I think this is called a jelly jar. This one doesn't say. I would say maybe 8 ounces. But you can use whatever you want to use for these. I mean, really, I use them, like I said, when I make jams and stuff. This is also a good size for Jell-O if you want to make Jell-O. I don't have very many of these. I actually have had these ones for a super long time, so I think this is my only one left. And I, for some reason, only have 3 of the 4 of these that I purchased, and these ones aren't as old. But I bought these, I think, mainly to make when I was making the chia seed jam a lot. I put them in these. So, and I also use these ones for the jam as well. So those are the different types of mason jars, and really you can just, what I love about the glass, and I'm going to talk about that. I'll just talk about that right now. What I love about the glass containers is things stay fresh for so much longer, especially fruit and lettuces and vegetables. It stays fresh for so long. And the different foods and stuff that I meal prep, if I know that I'm not going to get into it for 2 or 3 days, I always put it in my glass ones. I'll put the plastic ones into the freezer. I'm so nervous about freezing glass now. I don't know. Anyway, you can get some glasses for really affordable. So the mason jars are pretty affordable. This one I got at the Dollar Tree. Again, it comes with a really nice lid. I have a ton of these because I just picked them up every time I went. These are perfect for when you cut up an onion, a green onion, a red onion. I actually have a smaller one that came with a Snapware set, but it's in the refrigerator right now with some onions. But that's what these are perfect for, or just cilantro. That's what I use almost all of these for, or just for leftovers. So leftovers throughout the week if you just have a small amount. But yeah, I got these at the Dollar Tree. Just check out your glassware and just pick them up when you see them because they kind of go in and out, but they have usually all different sizes of them, of these little bowls with the lids, and they last a long time because I've had these forever. Now one that is a little bit of an investment is the Snapware. So I have a whole set of these that I got at Costco, and I was just at Costco last week and they still have them, and I've had these for like 2-3 years, so it must be a pretty popular product for them. As you can see, they just snap shut, nothing leaks. My little seal has never been broken. It's in great shape. So these were like $30, but definitely worth it. It came with 2 of this square size, 2 of this square size, I apologize for that loud noise, 2 round ones that are about this, hold about the same as this, and then 1 like larger square one, which is about 2 of these. And it came with that, so that, yeah, and then 2 little ones that are probably, oh, they're just like probably this big around with little snap lids, and those are perfect for green onions. That's what I mostly use those for, is green onions. But I use these for a lot of my meal prep, and it keeps them fresh all week. You guys know, if you watch my meal prep videos, you know that these definitely are something I use constantly. I highly recommend these. These, I could not recommend these enough. Like I said, it's an investment, but it's definitely worth it. They seal up so nice, and everything stays so fresh in these. So if you're gonna buy anything and you want something that's gonna last and you want some glass ones, go for this Snapware. Like I said, if you don't have a Costco, then maybe they have them at Walmart. I'm not sure. Another thing that I got at Costco is this Pyrex, and I've had this also for 2 or 3 years. And this came with 4 bowls, the same size. I don't know if it says the size of them. And it came with these lids. The only thing that's really gotten any wear on them are the lids, and I'm sure it's just from putting them in the dishwasher. But these have lasted for a long time. Again, the glass is my favorite, so definitely check these out. And but I still see these, maybe not the same design, but I still see these at Costco as well. And I think these were cheaper. I think these were like $19.99 for 4 of these glass ones. But anything in the glass is definitely worth it. Like I said, you'll spend a little bit of money ahead of time, but I just recommend that. And this is a perfect size. Whatever size this is the perfect size for pretty much any of the preps I make. Oh, here's one of the round ones. I forgot I have this here because I have to get my lunch together. So this is some chicken salad. So it fit a whole thing of chicken salad in here. So these are just great. They're just great. They really are. Now the last few items I'm going to show you are a couple of things here. So this is one of those Rubbermaid food savers, produce savers. So these do work good. They have a little thing that goes in the bottom. I just don't have it right now to show you, but I primarily like to use these for my salads. So it's a really nice salad size, and it's Rubbermaid. I think it's really good quality. It seals really nice, but it's perfect for just a big salad. So that's what I typically use it for. I think it's just great for that. The other thing, I have also a big one that's the same size as this. That is the Rubbermaid produce saver that has a thing in the bottom. Right now, watermelon in this one. This is just a regular Rubbermaid one, but I have 2 of them. So I have this one, and I have the green topped one that says produce saver on the side. And they keep the produce pretty fresh. Maybe not as fresh as the glass containers, but these are great to have a big one like this for a watermelon. I had such a big watermelon that I had to use 2 of these big ones to fill it up. So that's why I suggest having multiple sizes of things. So definitely invest in a couple of big containers for your melons and your fruit if you eat that kind of stuff, and also maybe for your salads and all that. I always suggest anytime you use a plastic container for any produce to definitely put a paper towel in them. I think it helps absorb the moisture. So I do that with strawberries. If I don't put them in a glass, if I put them in a glass container, I don't worry about it. But in plastic containers, I always put a paper towel or something in there to kind of absorb the moisture. Now the last 4 things are ones that I found on Amazon, and I couldn't recommend 3 of these enough. I have 4 of them. Let's start out with being careful when you order anything on Amazon for your sizes. I found this, I kind of barely looked at the size. It just looked bigger. And so when I got this and I saw how tiny it is, it's even probably hard to tell on camera how small it is. Just look at your dimensions. I mean, I don't really know what I'm gonna use this for. I think I bought it to use for like Lunchable type things but it barely fits like a handful of like baby cut carrots. I mean, really. So it's small, it's tiny. They weren't expensive, which is a good thing. Almost all of these meal prep containers that I'm showing you that I got on Amazon are not very expensive. So, I mean, I use these. I use them mostly for leftovers. I use them maybe if I have some cilantro, some cut up. I think I used it this weekend for some cut up celery that I was going to use in a recipe later on in the week. So they are useful, just not useful for meal prep, really, for the type of meal prep that I do, because it's just a smaller container. But if you're looking for a smaller container, I will still link this. It's not a bad product. It's just a bad size, I feel like. These other three, though, you guys will see I use them a lot. So I have the round container that I use for pretty much everything. I'm sorry for the glare back there. I use these a lot for everything. Of course, these all have lids. I just didn't get out the lids. I use these a lot. I mean, it's just a round one container slot. Really good. I am lacking one meal prep container that I really want, and I will tell you that in a second here. Here is a 3-compartment. So this is nice for anything you may need to be 3-compartment. Kind of reminds you the old, like, if your old like lunches when you were a kid. At least mine, this is how our lunches came when I was a kid, or like a TV dinner. So there's, you know, the size. It's a nice size. It's a nice opening in the middle, and nice, you know, 2 size openings here for like vegetables or a rice or something like that, and as your main dish. But yeah, definitely highly recommend this one. And here is the 2-compartment one, which I use this one probably the most out of any of them. The only thing I wish I had was a 1-compartment square one. So I have the 1-compartment round one, but I kind of want one without a middle thing here. So that'll be probably the next thing that I possibly get, just because sometimes when I don't need to have a, you know, thing split up, and I split it up anyway just because, and I end up mixing it together. But that's it, because, so I know you guys are saying, but you have all those glass ones. Okay. I have to lug these around to work, and these are just too heavy. The glass ones are too heavy to lug in my bag. I will sometimes, so I primarily use the glass ones when I'm prepping my food for the stuff that I need, that I'm just cooking, and it's all in there, and then I transfer them to these to take to work. These are just lighter. Like I said, I have to carry my lunch, so it just, for me, it just makes more sense. So, but that's the only one I want to get, is just the plain square one. So there you go. There's pretty much a little bit of everything that I have. I know it's a lot. Like I said, this is 7 years of meal prepping. So keep that in mind when you're looking at all this and you're thinking, what the heck? Yeah, just keep that in mind. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of a little snapshot of all the different containers that are out there, my feelings about them. I will have a lot of stuff linked down below in the description box. Check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this another installment of a beginner's guide. Definitely, like I said, just do you when it comes to your meal prepping. Look at what you would need for containers and just start small. Just pick them up as you see them. Start at the Dollar Tree. It really is. There's a ton of these types of things at the Dollar Tree. Start there if you're feeling intimidated. If you don't really want to do anything online, but check out the ones I'm going to link down there in the description box, because you'll be surprised how affordable these are. And I should say too, real quickly, these hold up really well in the dishwasher. Only casualties I've had of any of these containers over the years that I've had them, I've not had to throw any of them away because they broke. The lids fly off, go into the bottom of my dishwasher, and get burned by the element. So I have learned not to put the lids in the dishwasher. I just hand wash those. The rest of these hold up well in the dishwasher. Perfect. Recommend those. But like I said, start off easy. Don't overwhelm yourself when it comes to meal prepping. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy all of these types of containers. Start small, go to the Dollar Tree, pick up a few things, see what sizes work for you before you invest in any of the glass ones. You can kind of see what sizes you want to get before you go and invest in any of the glass ones. Those are my recommendations. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have other ideas for these beginner guide videos, and let me know what your favorite meal prep containers are, and I'll talk to you guys all very, very soon. Bye guys.